Mostly I'm just going to have them charge into the auxiliaries just to allow the Minutemen to continue firing on the Hessians here. Of course, they do retreat rather quickly, though. All right, welcome to the war. So not much to say about General Dayton's army. The small British force that was at this iron minefield just came south here, and so he just intercepted and destroyed them. Battle was instantly over. I didn't think it was one you guys needed to see, but he is now once again heading to Acadia, and it looks like there's not really any British forces, I think, that could actually stop him or get in his way. I might have him just sit outside the city, though, for one turn, because I think he could reach it in one turn, as you can see. But they're building up the government chambers there, and I wonder if it's worth just waiting for one turn, just to let them build it, finish it, so that I can then take it. I guess I'll consider that. I don't like waiting if I don't have to, like not even a turn, but you know what? If it benefits me, then it benefits me. Actually, let's head south really quick. The port here has been blocked again by the British Navy. So we have lost that income, very unfortunately. Philadelphia is honestly not really under much threat. I mean, they have gathered some troops here, and I think they could definitely attack again if they wanted to. But I think Philadelphia is still in a good position to hold them off. Cayuga, or Cayuga, just needs to be built up a bit. A little rebellious, honestly. We had to exempt them from taxes. And then, of course, we have General Washington himself, who has not finished replenishing his army, but to be honest, I don't think that's really a problem. He didn't lose, like, all that many guys in the last battle or anything, so he can go ahead and push right onto Montreal and attack it. And they don't have any walls or anything either. I assume that unit will be able to join them. And then they should have, like, 2 units of citizenry. So it's actually a pretty sizable force, and it's kind of varied in its makeup, too, though I think we should be able to blow through them quite easily. Where I think there might be a problem is up here in Quebec. Line infantry, cannons, and lots of tribal auxiliaries, as well as just a lot of the citizenry units. So that one might be a tad difficult to take. In fact, it looks like Washington might get there before Dayton does, so maybe I'll have Washington, after he wins at Montreal, go to Quebec, and then he'll head over to Huron territory, and maybe Dayton will be the one who heads south and just goes right into Maryland and attacks the British down there. But anyway, for now, let's attack Montreal.
They're trapped.
And indeed, that tribal auxiliary unit is coming to reinforce them. Alright, but anyway, let's get right into the battle. Alright, welcome to the battle. I have to admit, this is actually the second replay, or the second time I've watched this replay, because the first time, it isn't simply that the battle was different, the battlefield was different. Like, the town was a completely different configuration. Like, everything about it was different, and so, like, the AI arranged its troops differently. It was quite weird. So all I did was exit the game and come back in, and now it looks like the battle's going as it originally did, and we're on the proper battlefield. So, anyway, as you can see, the enemy have a cavalry unit here that's about to attack my Minutemen, and I don't actually notice them right away. So we're going to take some casualties amongst that Minutemen unit there. To our front here is the main enemy force, and their cannons are there too. I mean, that's why I pushed the Minutemen forward, was just so that I could have the artillery behind them to then fire on their artillery, which appears to cause them to actually charge most of their units forward. At this point, I notice that the Minutemen are fighting here, and so send in the cavalry to assist them. And we send those auxiliaries into retreat. It's also worth noting that I somehow mucked up my groupings quite badly. I'm not sure what I did, but you're going to see like this Minuteman unit is now no longer a part of this group, and so it's going to do some weird things later on in the battle. We do take a few casualties from their artillery, honestly. What I'm doing now is just shrinking my line, because I had them stretched out a fair bit in the hopes that they wouldn't take quite so many casualties from the cannons. But now that the enemy's coming forward, I want them to have a longer line. Or not a longer line, a shorter line. That unit will be gone soon, and I realize that that's basically the only unit that's on this flank, so I can actually send my cavalry around and have them go attack the artillery. The enemy, as you can see, is putting most of their troops on this left flank here. And this is what I mean by that Minutemen being, like, somehow out of position. Like, I somehow ungrouped them from the rest of the Minutemen. So, like, they were off on their own over here for some reason. There goes the cavalry. I send one unit to chase the auxiliaries to make sure they stay gone. And then this unit here is going to attack the artillery. And you needn't fear for the lives of my brave cavalrymen. I've already told my artillery not to fire anymore. Now the Minutemen are going to demolish most of the enemy units. There is something I'd actually like to double check here on this replay that I couldn't check in the actual battle. Well, I guess I could have if I'd been paying attention. Okay, here comes the Rangers. You see, what I wanted to check is I believe the Rangers have a longer range than the Minutemen do. And so, but I don't realize that right away. And so I think what happens is the Rangers fire on the Minutemen and aren't... Oh, wait, that guy just died. Oh, and so did that guy. Okay, so maybe they are within range of the Minutemen. Of course, they're also... Oh, wait, no, it says idle. Okay, so I think at this point the Rangers will now be able to fire on the Minutemen without taking shots in return. I don't realize that right away, and I think it happens on this flank, too, with these irregulars. Let's see, are they able to fire? Yep, it looks like they can, and the Minutemen are not returning fire. So I think we do lose a few Minutemen to that mistake on my part, but I eventually push their line forward so that they can defend themselves. The artillery crew back here has been eliminated. We did lose a few cavalrymen, though, because the Firelock armed citizenry turned around and fired a volley into their backs. You see, this is what I mean by another thing that I mean by the groupings being weird. Because I just basically just now have added that Minutemen to the group so that we can now have the lines proper. I'm pretty sure I had them all grouped up properly at the beginning of the battle, but I mucked it up at some point during the battle itself. All right, but now that the Minutemen have been pushed forward, they will now return fire on their enemy. And the Rangers are not going to stand up to that fire for very long, and neither will the irregulars on this side, the native musket men. I do think I push forward the Minutemen, though, because only like that unit can actually fire at them. So I take these 3 units and make sure that they all fire. In the distance there, you can see I've already sent cavalry out to attack some of these routing units as well. And with those volleys, they are now in retreat. I think this is also the point where I commit the rest of my cavalry to chase down the routers. As you see, they actually still do have a unit that is not routing. Oh, it was this citizenry unit, but you may have noticed there was a brief pause there, and that's because the end of battle choice just came up, and I obviously chose to continue the battle, but these guys were actually not routing. In fact, they haven't lost a single man in their unit. But admittedly, the rest of the battle was lost, so it was probably wise of them to flee. And in fact, I think they entirely get away. because the edge of the battle map is right there, and I don't think the cavalry are able to catch them. You can see there's cavalry units chasing down enemies in the trees over there. I think I do tell that unit... Oh, wait. That unit has actually made it across the battle map there, so they're safe. And yep, these guys are going to get away as well. I think the only ones we're really able to catch are a couple in the trees here that you guys didn't see, as well as I think this unit here. Which, I don't like these Rangers now. Again, they're a lot like the Minutemen in the sense that all of their men can fire at once, but they have half strength, or half the number of men in their units. But they do have a longer range, so we definitely want to kill them off. And I don't realize it, but there's actually another, at least one more unit somewhere over here. Oh, there they are. Yes, these auxiliaries are going to get away as well. They're much too far away from the cavalry for us to chase them down. Alright, so we'll just watch a few of these guys die to the cavalry, and then I'll just let you guys go, and I'll bring you back once we're back on the campaign map. Oh, watch this guy's cap. Did you see that? Did you guys see that? He went from having, like, just, like, a cap on his head to a cap, well, a slightly different kind of hat with a feather. And it just happened, like mid... I don't know if it happened, like, after he got struck, but I think I noticed that during the battle as well. I was like, his hat suddenly has a feather in it. And now they're going after that unit over there, though they're not going to catch them. So anyway, I'll just let you guys go now, and I will bring you back once I'm back on the campaign map. Yes, victory is ours, though we suffered substantially more casualties, I think, than we are used to. Mostly among these 2 Minutemen units. Actually, no, these 3 Minutemen units. Again, I want to say that a lot of those casualties were caused by the Rangers. Actually, probably also getting attacked from the side there. In fact, I just realized the cavalry unit that came, like, flanking us from the left there, that just sort of came up out of the blue, I bet you those were the reinforcements, that they came onto the battlefield somewhere over there and then just charged us. But, yeah, that was more casualties than we are used to. But nevertheless, we have taken them. And, yeah, it looks like the Minutemen did the most damage. I mean, the cavalry did a lot of damage as well, but a lot of that will also be routing units. Alright. Oh, I guess the survivors of that army would escape. I think it's just all the ones inside of Montreal itself who would not get away.
Raise the flag!
Alright, so there we go. Another settlement taken. And this time, I think we really will need to wait and fully replenish. In fact, I wonder, can I stop their replenishment? And then start it over? Because I think, if I remember correctly from my other campaign, what happens is they'll only replenish the men who were missing at the time you gave the command to replenish. So they won't actually replenish to full. So it might be better to just cancel that now and then replenish, because then they'll be full in 2 turns. And then we'll attack Montreal. Or not Montreal, Quebec. We just took Montreal. Alright, but it looks like that's going to be it for now, so I will let you guys go and I will bring you back. Whoops. Every time I come back to the campaign map and I just slightly scroll out, it like goes completely out. But then after that, it behaves pretty normally. But anyway, I will let you guys go and I will bring you back as the war continues. All right, welcome back to the war. Now, in the south here, not much has happened to me, but something has certainly happened to the British. They've lost Virginia to the Cherokee. It's a little unexpected, I have to admit. I did grab trade rights from the Cherokee, just because I guess I have the option now. Probably through this trade port, I imagine. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know if the British are going to turn around and try and take it back. I mean, I think they have the force here that they could try, but I don't know if they will. Now, up here in the north, General Washington just took out a very small force of Hessian line infantry. It was just 2 units. Then he went right back into Montreal. He needs to stay here for at least a little while to get public order in order. I think he could leave in a couple of turns, and I think if, like, a unit, this force, for example, comes within range, he can definitely leave and attack it and then come back. But I don't think he's going to be the one to besiege Quebec after all. This is quite a large force, and since Washington can't really leave for long, I think what I am going to do is have General... Did I decide his name was? Dayton, I think. Yes, Dayton. Once he takes Acadia here, he is going to head over to Quebec himself. And he should only be there in a couple of turns, so it shouldn't be too bad. And of course, this is the battle we're going to fight this turn. Is we're going to very, very quickly take Acadia, or at least I assume it's going to be quick. The only garrison are the 2 citizenry units, so we should be able to slaughter them quite quickly. Of course, the British are still blockading, and I guess just in general, I am building up and expanding now that the area is somewhat safe. Obviously, the British still have a lot of troops in the area, but I don't think they're striking out very far, and so I felt more comfortable now repairing buildings and upgrading them to get us some more money, especially since, you know, again, the British aren't exactly expanding any further. Or able to roam freely through our territory might be a better way of saying that. So anyway, General Dayton will attack now, and let's just get right into the battle. Alright, welcome to the battle. Minutemen are all charging forward here. I actually have to tell them to stop and take up a different position because they were going to run right into the citizenry here. I believe I also make something of a mistake here by having all of my Minutemen just line up like this, because I believe I caused some friendly fire. See that guy? I think that guy was killed by our own men. Now over here on the right, we've got some cavalry over here who will help chase down the enemy, and the same is true over there on the left. Yes, I think it was quite the mistake to have all of these Minutemen units like in these long, thin lines right here. It's completely unnecessary. I should have just had 2 or 3 units, like full units, actually here instead of like these long columns like this. So anyway, 1 unit is in retreat, and so the Minutemen are about to fire on that other unit, but you can see the cavalry here is charging. I told them to basically go after this unit, and I didn't appreciate the route the cavalry were going to take. It is okay, though. I do tell them to stop firing here. I don't think they killed too many of the cavalry. Maybe they didn't even kill any of them. Actually, there's 60 men in that unit. And there's 32 men in the general's bodyguard, so they actually didn't kill any of them. And yes, there was that brief pause there, meaning the battle is essentially over. So now it's just a case of the cavalry on both flanks just charging in there and killing the routing citizenry here. They've bunched up quite nicely here, so the cavalry can definitely get in a few kills here. Well, there goes the general, or captain. Honestly, obviously the battle is over, so I was just showing them being chased through the streets, but I think you guys have seen enough now, so I will let you go, and I will bring you back once we get back to the campaign map. Maybe just one more. Oh, there we go. I have to admit, for a dying man, he is certainly getting around. Yes, proud and victorious indeed. And you see what I mean? Enemy killed 4, but I lost 26, so that tells me 22 of my own guys died to friendly fire, I assume? It's the only thing that really seems to make sense to me, and I guess there isn't a whole lot to see on this page. We came, we saw, we killed them.
Make ready for battle.
So just like that, Acadia is now ours. Ah, right, and you can actually see all of your territory at all times. Okay. That's another thing that I forgot about, because in Rome 1 and Medieval 2, you would have to place, like, watchtowers if you wanted to see the rest of your territory. Not so in Empire. But I guess this also confirms then that there's no British troops anywhere in our new province, so we don't need to worry about leaving the place. Alright, but anyway, looks like that was it, so I will let you guys go, and I will bring you back as the war continues. Alright, welcome back to the war. We certainly have a sizable battle in front of us. Basically, General Dayton was heading towards Quebec, and the British decided not to wait, and they sent the entirety of the garrison out to attack him before he even reached their... Well, I guess he's on the border with their territory. Of course, this is kind of to our advantage, kind of, because they're not getting the benefit of the citizenry units that would be there if they had waited for us to attack. Then again, those units aren't the greatest, so I guess you could argue... It's arguable how much of an advantage that really is. I guess we could talk about the campaign map after the battle, especially since I can't actually move the camera anyways. So, let's just get right into the battle here. Oh, actually, I guess we should talk a bit about their army, because it is, as you can see, mostly cavalry, with a couple of infantry units and a couple of cannon units, whereas we're pretty much the opposite, with mostly infantry, a couple of cavalry, and the same amount of cannon units. So, it should be interesting. Let's get right into the battle. Alright, welcome to the battle. My army is arranged here on this hill. We've got cannons in the center, along with 4 units of militiamen on each flank, with the cavalry just behind the artillery. It's not exactly the biggest hill. I think it's a better slope on the right than it is on the left. But basically, the enemy are sending cavalry around either flank, and so I keep pulling back the Minutemen to face them. The enemy has their cannons firing over here. I don't think they're actually able to hit us very much. My own cannons are returning fire, though I tell them pretty quickly, well, I guess not quickly, but somewhat soon, to switch to canister shot, since they're basically going to hold the center on their own. You see, now I'm splitting the Minutemen even further, just to make sure that the cavalry doesn't go completely around the back there. But I do keep this one unit here, just to make sure that, you know, no one is able to, like, attack right through here. Now, they do have a single unit of cavalry over here that's just kind of on its own. And so I do send 2 units over here to attack them, thinking that maybe I can just kill them while they're separated from the rest of their force. But it doesn't really work out very well, I have to admit. You'll see in a minute. In a bit here. Ah, look at all these units, though. They just had so much cavalry, it's hard to, Ooh, ow. It's hard to compete with so much cavalry. And you see, there go the Minutemen. Charging forward there to attack. And this unit is, of course, coming in, but they're going to be shot by the Minutemen. Oh, and the battle's really heating up here on the left flank. Maybe I should look over here first. There's lots of gun cavalry coming in, charging in. And as you can see there, now the Minutemen are returning fire over there on the right flank. At one point, I actually take this unit and turn them to face this cavalry unit as well, because I just need this side of the battle to be done quickly. Oh, in fact, there they go. Because the enemy is clearly gathering their forces here on this flank over here. And this is where the Minutemen get into a bit of trouble, because the enemy are charging forward with all their men, so I have them rejoin the line on this side. And here comes the enemy, the main attack charging up the hill here. See, they get shot in the back by these units here, too. And this unit here on the end actually gets attacked by the tribal cavalry. Like, actual melee combat. I actually bring my cavalry down here to assist. Oh, and the cannons are firing their canister shot. At nobody. I'm actually not sure what they're up to there. But with the battle basically done here on the left flank, I moved these two units forward so that they could fire at some horsemen who are here in the trees. I really would have liked if the canister shot had actually gone and hit them. That would have been more useful. All right, and here come my cavalry down the hill here. They're going to charge in to help the Minutemen. Mostly, I'm just going to have them charge into the auxiliaries just to allow the Minutemen to continue firing on the Hessians here. Of course, they do retreat rather quickly, though. Over here on the left, I noticed that there was actually another cavalry unit over here in the trees that I had missed, so I have two of the Minutemen turn around to start shooting at them, too. I think they killed a fair number of our guys before I noticed them. Now, the cavalry charge out there after them. Because this flank is basically done, except for this unit of line infantry who have rallied. I do send my cavalry charging at them at first, because I was thinking, well, maybe we could get them to retreat, like they might waver and leave, but they seemed quite sturdy, so I actually pretty quickly tell the cavalry to turn around. What I end up doing is I push the Minutemen forward and have them start charging over there to take them out. Meanwhile, the cavalry unit that I pulled off is actually going to go over here and attack their artillery, which has been basically able to do whatever they want this whole battle. So, I don't think they've actually killed too many of my guys by virtue of just being on the side of the hill there. Fortunately, they fire off their shots just before the cavalry gets in here, so that way the cavalry aren't going to get shot by them. Meanwhile, this cavalry unit is back here attacking the various units that were routing, and as you can see, the Minutemen are now pushing forward. Oh, I'm so glad we caught that. As you can see, some of their auxiliary units actually rallied, and we're going to attack the Minutemen from the flank here. But the cannons caught them with canister shot and just obliterated what little of their unit remained. I think they actually get shot some more by the Minutemen. Or maybe not. It looks like they might be just out of range, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're out of range. But anyway. Oh, maybe they were hit. Oh, yeah, that guy was hit by the canister shot. I saw him fall. Right, but anyway, the Minutemen have pushed forward. They're not quite within range, though, so I think I have to push them forward one more time. Basically, I have the cavalry just kind of sitting back there waiting. Because once these guys start to retreat, obviously we know what their fate's going to be. The AI did do this weird thing a couple of times. You may have just seen it, where they go into square, and then they come out of square, then they go into square. It's like they know the cavalry unit is there, but they're unsure as to whether they should go into square formation or not. So now the Minutemen pull forward, and this is where they meet their end. And that little pause there was basically the end of battle message, the one asking if you wanted to continue or end the battle. And obviously we continued. But yes. Everyone is now in retreat or dead. So the cavalry are coming to mop up those line infantry. My other cavalry unit is over here somewhere. Yes, there they are. I do eventually send them after the remains of an artillery unit. Ah, here they are. It took me a while to find them, though, because I was looking at the map going, where are they? Where are they? And there's only 2 of them, so they're kind of like, I couldn't really see them through the trees. So I seem to have found them quite easily right now. Well, anyway. Back over here. There's only 19 of them left. A fair amount of their auxiliaries are going to get away, simply by virtue of being cavalry. They're just going to be able to run away. Right, have I figured out where they are yet? Okay, I have. Maybe we'll just watch these 2 guys get caught by the cavalry, and then I'll let you guys go and meet you back on the campaign map. Assuming they're here somewhat quickly. Okay, yes, there they are. Through the trees, here they come. One man turns to quickly face his pursuers and is immediately cut down. And then so is the other man. All right, we won't go over the statistics here because I think they're usually the same as they are on the campaign map. But we'll look at them there. So I'll see you guys there. All right, we did lose a fair number of men there. The enemy lost far, far, far more. You see some of these Minutemen units got... Well, these 2 units here suffered some pretty high casualties. Then these couple here suffered minor, well, medium casualties, and then the rest were minor. That doesn't seem too bad at all. Especially considering the enemy were absolutely slaughtered. Look at these kills on these Minutemen units here. And of course, the cavalry did very well as always. Surprisingly, the cannons did not kill too many. I guess there were a couple of moments there where I definitely did kill a few of them, but not entirely, or not very many. All right, well, let's go ahead and... It looks like only 3 or so units survived that battle. Which is excellent, because now that should be much easier now for us to take Quebec. All right, so anyway, here we are back on the campaign map. Here's where General Dayton was just intercepted by the British. Looks like they'll have some cavalry left over, plus, of course, all the Firelock armed citizenry units once we get over there. He did have to leave behind a couple of units over here, the militia and the dragoons, in order to keep this place from rebelling against us. I guess I could have exempted them, but I think even that wasn't enough. In fact, okay, so it only adds 1 and 2 there, so I think we still needed units here to watch the place. Not too much is happening over here. I did destroy the trading port here and start building a shipyard. Because I want to start building a navy here somewhat soon, and I realized I don't really have any place to do that. So, that's going to be our military port once it's finished. Looks like the British have not taken back Virginia. I sort of thought they might, but nope, not yet. Colonial Americans at war. Who the heck are these guys? But we are the colonial Americans. In fact, we're the only Americans. So who the heck are you? And why are we at war? Let's see. At war with pirates and with Great Britain. Is this just like some random rebel force that spawned to fight the rebels? Are they British sympathizers? Oh, I realized I can't actually see Great Britain here on this list, and I'm assuming that's just to make it so that you have to fight them. You know, like you can't like get peace or anything. Which, to be fair, let's see, objectives. Oh, we actually don't have to eliminate Great Britain. We just have to, oh, we have to take Virginia. Ah, there might be a war in our future with the Cherokee then, unless the British are able to take it back. Anyway, General Washington is still up here, of course, and it looks like he has another just random 1 unit here that we can take out. And it looks like General Dayton will be able to attack Quebec later on in this turn. But that's going to come after I do some campaign map stuff, so I'm just going to let you guys go now, and I will bring you back as the war continues.